Today we're going to discuss what could be one of the most significant shifts in U.S. immigration policy in decades: the launch of the Gold Card program. For years, the U.S. immigration system has been built on two pillars: merit-based visas, such as EB-1 for individuals of extraordinary ability and EB-2 for those with national interest waivers, and family-based immigration. These frameworks have shaped how skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and families enter and stay in the country. They've been the backbone of U.S. immigration, and they've operated with a predictable, though often slow, system. Now, we're seeing something completely different: a wealth-based, fast-track pathway to permanent residency. The so-called Gold Card program breaks with decades of precedent and introduces a system where a monetary donation, $1 million for individuals, $2 million for corporate sponsorship, can secure priority processing and expedited green card approval. This scale and approach have never been seen before in the United States. Programs that are similar in other countries, often called golden visas, exist in places like Singapore, New Zealand, and parts of Europe. But the U.S. program is positioned to be one of the most affordable yet impactful, and it operates entirely outside traditional merit frameworks. This is a paradigm shift. It raises profound questions. What does it mean for the traditional pathways? How will it impact applicants waiting in line for EB-1 and EB-2 visas? And, more broadly, what are the implications for U.S. immigration, labor markets, and international perceptions? Today, we'll go through all of this, slide by slide, to unpack both the mechanics of the program and its potential ripple effects. Now, we're seeing something completely different: a wealth-based, fast-track pathway to permanent residency. The so-called Gold Card program breaks with decades of precedent and introduces a system where a monetary donation, $1 million for individuals, $2 million for corporate sponsorship, can secure priority processing and expedited green card approval. This scale and approach have never been seen before in the United States. Programs that are similar in other countries, often called golden visas, exist in places like Singapore, New Zealand, and parts of Europe, but the U.S. program is positioned to be one of the most affordable yet impactful, and it operates entirely outside traditional merit frameworks. This is a paradigm shift. It raises profound questions. What does it mean for the traditional pathways? How will it impact applicants waiting in line for EB-1 and EB-2 visas? And more broadly, what are the implications for U.S. immigration, labor markets, and international perceptions? Today, we'll go through all of this, slide by slide, to unpack both the mechanics of the program and its potential ripple effects. Here's the big headline. Starting December 18th, the U.S. plans to roll out 80,000 gold cards. This is essentially a premium, fast-track green card pathway. But the most surprising part is the price. What was originally expected to cost $5 million has now been cut dramatically to a $1 million donation, or a $2 million corporate sponsorship. And because it's not an investment but a donation, there's no expectation of return. The government anticipates raising around $100 billion, which signals that revenue is a major motivation behind this program. Compared globally, this instantly becomes one of the cheapest elite residency options worldwide. And because the U.S. remains the top destination for education, healthcare, and financial access, the interest from wealthy applicants has already started rising quickly. Slide 2 dives into the mechanics. The Gold Card program isn't just a catchy name, it's a full-fledged immigration pathway. Individual applicants can secure their green card with a $1 million donation, while corporations can sponsor with $2 million. Beyond the donation itself, recipients receive priority processing and expedited approval, essentially allowing them to bypass the years-long wait that traditional EB-1 and EB-2 applicants face. The program is explicitly designed to be faster and cheaper than many global alternatives. For example, Singapore's Golden Visa requires roughly $8 million, New Zealand charges about $3 million, and Samoa has a program at $1.4 million. At $1 million, the U.S. Gold Card is positioned as one of the most accessible high-end residency visas in the world. Importantly, this program operates outside traditional merit frameworks. It does not require extraordinary ability, advanced degrees, or family ties. Instead, financial capacity is the main qualification. This creates a fundamental departure from the philosophy that has guided U.S. immigration policy for decades. From a practical perspective, Gold Card recipients gain access to all benefits of permanent residency, education, healthcare, banking, and more. However, there's an important legal and financial nuance. The donation is non-refundable, and recipients are subject to U.S. tax laws on global income. In effect, this program turns immigration into a revenue generation mechanism with implications for both policy and society. It explores the timing and context. Why now? There are several converging factors. First, global uncertainty and geopolitical tensions are rising. Economically, the U.S. faces budget gaps and pressures to fund federal programs. Immigration has historically been a policy tool, but now it is increasingly being positioned as a revenue generation mechanism. The Gold Card program is expected to raise approximately $100 billion for the U.S. government. That's a significant infusion, especially in a climate of fiscal concern. By leveraging high-net-worth individuals willing to pay for expedited residency, the U.S. can generate revenue while also potentially attracting wealthy, globally influential residents. There's also a strategic geopolitical dimension. Wealthy global citizens who acquire U.S. residency are likely to invest and conduct business within the U.S., potentially boosting capital flows, innovation, and economic activity. In this sense, the Gold Card serves dual purposes, raising revenue and enhancing the economic ecosystem. However, the timing is controversial. Critics argue that it comes at the expense of existing EB-1 and EB-2 applicants, many of whom have been waiting for years. There's tension between short-term fiscal gains and long-term fairness in immigration policy. Now, let's talk about the backlash, because public reaction has been intense. Critics say the U.S. is essentially selling green cards, and unlike investor visas in other countries, this isn't an investment. It's a pure donation with no financial return. There are also serious tax implications. Once someone gets permanent residency, the IRS imposes tax on worldwide income and global assets, something many foreign applicants may not fully understand. But the biggest concern is the impact on existing immigrants. If tens of thousands of annual green card slots are redirected to Gold Card applicants, that means fewer visas for family, employment, and merit-based categories. There's real fear that backlogs will grow, wait times will stretch, and categories could freeze. That's the heart of the backlash. The sense that the entire system is shifting away from fairness and toward wealth. So what does all of this mean going forward? For immigrants in traditional categories, it likely means longer processing times and a lower priority within the overall system. Many experts believe EB-1 and EB-2 could be deprioritized or reshaped entirely. Some are calling this the start of an immigration winter for skilled workers. For wealthy applicants, however, the Gold Card is being seen as an incredible deal. Just $1 million for U.S. entry, with only 80,000 slots available. Demand could explode, especially in regions with unstable political climates or currency depreciation. And from a policy perspective, this signals a dramatic pivot. Instead of merit-based immigration, the U.S. appears to be experimenting with immigration as a financial instrument. There are even early rumors about a future platinum card priced at around $5 million. In short, this is a fundamental turning point in how America approaches immigration, and we're only seeing the first phase.